Welcome, everyone. A live stream here. It's basically Cardinal Cup takes over the Casual Shooters podcast. We have Corey Katz, Jay Slater, and Mark Schulte, a.k.a. Bigfoot Brass. And we've got Cardinal Practical Shooters in here. And, of course, Jay's shooting analyst. So we got a lot of stuff going on here. Anything that has to do with Cardinal Cup, we've got the people here who could probably answer the questions. So, Corey, you had mentioned to me back at Buckeye Blast. I hadn't mentioned it to anybody, and then I saw you guys posting about it. I'm like, all right, cool. It's open. It's out in the public. It's out in the open. If you would take a moment and explain what the Cardinal Cup is.
Yeah, so Cardinal Cup is an invitational match. Basically, what I was talking to a couple people, including Mark, and he and I saw the need for an event that is open primarily, or I shouldn't say primarily, but first to people that have earned a slot. So if you think of your top three people that shot carry optics at Area 8 last weekend, they've earned a slot. Top 15% of the field at nationals, they've earned a slot. So the idea kind of stemmed from there. Initially, we were going to do all optic divisions, and then we realized that you it would be better and a better competition to do open and limited optics only, but effectively give the carry optics folks a slot into the match based on their performance in carry optics into the limited optics field. It's our opinion. More so, we wanted to test to see, is there a difference between limited optics and carry optics? And we kind of polled, or Mark polled, what, 25 shooters, and I think one person said no.
Yeah, I got a very solid response and support from the people that I spoke with, and just in a general poll on Instagram. But what I did is I pulled the list of all of the competitors that shot LO nationals and CO nationals, and then calculated an average finish, and I took the top. I actually reached out to the top 10 of those people, and I was just curious, the people that are competing at a higher level that shot both, what was their thoughts, and most of them, they kind of pretty much across the board, it came across as, the divisions are so similar. They're like, if I can make it, I'll be there, kind of thing, and they'll compete, and we can reach. And if somebody wants to shoot a CO gun, then if you're comfortable with your CO gun, want to shoot a CO gun, then shoot it against someone shooting a 2011. I don't feel there's that much disparity between the two divisions. Personally, I think a good shooter is good with either one.
So, do you think a Nils Jonasson with a Rival S is handicapped against anybody else with a 2011?
I don't think so. I think somebody can be a better shooter than someone else, but I think there's not enough difference in the firearm. I mean, you go out there and you can take a $600 Glock 47 and slap a $300 Trigger Tech trigger in it, and the trigger feels as good as I just got one today. So I was intrigued to test it, and the trigger feels amazing. You're like, how is this possible in a Glock? But it is, through technology and innovation. I mean, it's a very cool system. So I just think and then, somebody made the great point to me, is you think about that, was it about, can't remember the name of it, that kind of like roller delayed Argent arms. There's a pistol coming out that'll be a production pistol, and on the production list, and it basically will, take over carry optics if carry optics still exists in the state that it does currently.
If you think about it, Lago Alien in
Yeah.
IPSC is a production gun. USPSA, it's not, because there's a hammer on the inside. There is a hammer, um, and it's not single action, but not double action. It's a weird gun, but USPSA does not count. But in IPSC, it's a production gun.
Yeah. With non-reciprocating irons, with irons that don't move, front or rear.
Yep.
Yeah, I used to have one. It was a cool gun. I bought it as a novelty.
Did it make you a better shooter?
No, I'm bad with a handgun no matter what.
I know you won't be getting a short barrel rifle even with the NFA changes.
Yeah. Well, I don't actually. I've talked to a ton of people about that today. This is totally off topic, but in Wisconsin, I'm one of those non-free states where we still have state statutes that require us to meet all federal legality requirements. Blah blah blah. AKA Form 4 and a tax stamp.
From my
Right.
understanding, Ohio is the same way.
Correct. Ohio's the same way. Yeah, you
So,
can't. My buddy in South Carolina went to Palmetto State this morning. He got there at 9:21. They opened at 10 o'clock, and in 15 minutes, he walked out with a can on a 4473.
nice.
So they're doing it. My whole worry is what happens if they stay this injunction or the injunction is rescinded. Now you're in possession of a unregistered NFA item.
Yeah, but I don't think you could hold any of them legally responsible at this point because it's all at the time that he did it, it was legal. So
Yeah.
Yep.
it's that gray area.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I'm definitely gonna let it all shake out before I get an SBR for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we get into, I have some very specific questions about the match itself, some very specific questions about going into a little bit more detail about selection. Before we get there, what is the motivating factor for, say, the top 25 shooters in the country shooting either CO, LO, or open to come and shoot this match?
I mean, in my mind, the motivating factor for them to come shoot this match is they are literally going to be put head to head against the best shooters in the country on the best stages in the country at arguably one of the best ranges in the country. So Matt Hopkins and Scott Beebe are designing our stages. It's the same stage design team as Nationals this weekend or next weekend, and at IPSC Nationals last year. You've got the same match director, myself, as IPSC Nationals last year, along with our team that runs that has run the last 5 or 6 Buckeye Blasts, last couple Area 5s, not this one, not 26s, but 25 and 24s Area 5, IPSC Nationals last year. If, and not that I'm tooting my own horn, but at the end of the day, I had numerous people come up to me after IPSC Nationals last year and tell me that that was the best match they've ever been to.
And I would agree with that. I mean, I shot it. I think
didn't hear. Yeah. Go ahead, Mark.
I shot IPSC Nationals, and I personally believe, it was one of the best, like as a whole, best major matches that I've ever shot. And everyone knows I'm not one for carnival stages. We didn't have carnival stages. Hard shots are one thing, and there was hard shots there. Like there were plate swingers that people were doing the calculation on, is the third shot at it worth it? And for the most part, it wasn't. Like when they're a hard shot when you're making that kind of mental math before you head out there to shoot the stage. Like you take 2 shots. If you miss, don't shoot again because it is not worth it, even if you hit it.
So at the end of the day, the conversation is, how do we make this the best match in the country next year?
I wanted to be a match that everyone is that people are talking about and people are actively looking forward to getting that invite, making that placement at one of the qualifying matches that gets you onto that champions list. Past that, then this is something we'll discuss, but then past that champions list, phase 2 would be based off of the rating system from Shooting Sports Analysts, from Jay.
Okay. And I mean, Corey and I had a pretty good conversation about this at Buckeye Blast. So, a lot of these questions may seem odd, but from looking on the outside in for some people, they're going to be like, what's the draw? And obviously that is the big one right there, where you can get all of your carry optics, limited optics, open shooters all in one match. And it's all just the top guys. And you've got top level stages, things like that. So that all feeds into the first question I'm going to have about the match itself. So let's go back to IPSC Nationals last year. Or you could even say Race Gun Nationals coming up, Corey.
Yeah.
there's a certain degree of difficulty when you're doing a national match like that, where you want to make it challenging for the top guys, but not so difficult that your, B and C level shooters can't, they don't want to walk away like I couldn't do anything. This is a terrible match for me.
Sure.
This match is different. This is not focused on your Alpha Bravo Charlie level shooters. This is primarily GM's top 20 guys. What's the degree of difficulty going to be like next year for these guys?
See, I disagree. We're also inviting the top three ladies of each division from each match. We're inviting the top three juniors, the top three senior, basically senior class or category. We're lumping senior, super senior, and distinguished senior together. But we're inviting more than just the top, who you'd consider as the top 10 super squatters. We're inviting the top of every major category as well. So I think this match is going to be comparable to a nationals level match. Maybe a little bit harder than what we've come to know as nationals. I think it's going to be comparable to what you're going to see at Race Gun this weekend, or what you saw at FSIG Nationals last year.
Okay.
I mean, keep in mind that I'm basing that off of, there was a post that Max Leograndis put out there this morning or this afternoon, and someone said that last year's Nationals felt like they went and shot, I think it was 21 classifier stages. That's not the feel you're going to get next weekend at Race Gun. That is not the feel you're going to get next month at Factory Gun, and definitely not the feel you're going to get at Cardinal Cup next year.
Okay. Yeah, I think he was making a comparison of what the European matches are like compared to here,
Yeah.
and how he was saying that I think he shot, I forget what area matches he said, but he said they all felt they had the same feel to them. And I don't know if it's because we have so many level 2 and level 3 matches that, people just want to go and shoot and then leave. Nobody hangs around. But, and in Europe, it's an experience. And I think that's where he's like, you don't get the experience in the States that you get when you go shoot a European big level match. That's what I got
Sure.
out of it.
And
No,
that also perfectly segues into a comment I'll make about if people are looking at the dates, they see the 7th ends on a Saturday. We're running 3 days, and we're ending this match on Saturday with the idea that Sunday can then be your travel day. So it's not like a national, like this next weekend at Race Gun, where I'm done at 12 o'clock and I'm on my way home. So it can be on a Saturday. I can be on my way home on that. Now, if you're flying, probably
yeah,
not necessarily on that Sunday, but we're going to have people try to keep people together and have food at the event. And we've discussed a lot of options. I think to make it a little bit more of an event and like a social gathering to follow, like we try to do with the awards banquets and things like that, but make it worth people's while to stay. I want to have great prizes for the people that come and compete. At the people that win at the overall, but then also, like you said, we're going to do ladies, we're going to do seniors, we're going to recognize juniors, and then we'll have, in essence, I guess we'll have like two different divisions, but then there'll be like 4 kind of champions in between. You have a senior champion, a lady champion, a junior champion, and an overall champion.
yeah. I mean, it's still, so the intent is to do a awards banquet on Saturday night. And the cool part, like Mark said, is Saturday night we can go party hard. And you don't have to leave Saturday night after the party. Mark, if correct me if I'm wrong, but last we talked, if you're top 15 at Factory Gun or Race Gun Nationals next week, you're planning on like going home, but then coming back, like, going to your mom's house, but maybe coming back, and it's all these logistics that you have to think about. This match, we're going to be done on Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, party on Saturday night, and then head out Sunday.
Yeah,
So stick around for the party.
yeah, and we'll have Bobby there to cook us food.
Yep.
Honestly, most important thing.
Everybody knows that I plan my matches around Bobby's schedule.
We literally did. Corey asked Cardinal for dates, and then we ran them by Bobby to make sure he could be there.
And don't get me wrong, are there better, like, I love Bobby. Bobby's a close friend of mine. So that's part of the reason why we use Bobby. And at the end of the day, could there be a better food truck? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I know there are people that dislike Bobby's food, and at the end, and I tell you, hey, sorry, I'm not bringing in 5 food trucks. The reason I bring Bobby in is because his food is very good and consistent, and his the ability for him to feed my staff in 45, 50 minutes is fantastic.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
knows exactly what he's getting himself into. We do a great job of communicating with him to know for him to know exactly what time we're going to be done with the morning flights so that he can feed the staff.
He's also a great supporter of our sport
Oh,
and
100%.
2A, and he's part of it. It's I think that's what I really like is he's part of the family, for sure. That you see him at the matches, and he tries to never let me pay for my quarter-pound hot dog with brisket on top of it, and I always put money in his tip jar because he won't take my money.
There's always a way around it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, you can't not take it when I stuff it in the tip jar.
All right, so now this is the first I've heard of. I do remember briefly, Corey, that you said seniors were being invited, but I didn't realize that each category was going to have its own winner, like junior. I don't know if we talked about junior. So junior, senior, lady, and overall. I assume is that going to be for limited optics, one for so 8
Yeah.
champions,
Yeah.
4 in each category or division.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Obviously, you'd have the potential for somebody could be, somebody could be win multiple of those. I mean,
Sure.
if
You could
Morgan
have a junior.
Leonhardt came and won, that you could have a lady overall, like you
Yeah.
could have a lady senior overall win. I mean, it's all possible. I guess you
Yep.
can't win all 4 because you can't be
Right.
lady senior junior overall.
Right. But if Todd Jarrett won something, then he could be the overall and senior type of
Sure.
a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Absolutely.
he's being invited, just throwing out a name that we all know.
Oh, he's getting invited. He just won senior at Area 8.
Yeah.
Here you go. He's a local guy, so
Yeah.
it's a good thing.
And Carrie
So,
won lady at Area 8. So they're
oh, did
both
she
invited.
really?
Yeah, she was
Oh,
top
wow.
3.
She's
Okay.
second. Yeah. Kaylee Lane was first, and then she was second. And we got a junior
Okay.
from Area 8. That would be a qualifier. So that's good.
Yep.
Nice. So I assume then all the calculations begin once Factory Gun Nationals is over.
Area 2.
Area 2. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Because you're doing the area matches too. Duh.
Yeah. We wanted to bring something that puts some value into shooting an area match. Like whether you travel, because like for me right now, there's no outside of your Area 5 match and looking for a national slot. There's no as long as your division's even recognized. There's nothing to gain other than shooting the match by traveling to any of the other areas in the USPSA. So there's 7 other area matches that you could go to. That these clubs are chosen and they're putting on, and I've been to a bunch of them. I've been to a bunch of great matches hosted by different areas, but now this puts some value to it. Like your place where you finish can get you a qualification into this match. Top
Yep.
like said top 3. Top 3 in the finish in both divisions, and all 3 divisions. But then you obviously bring that brings 6 into the limited optics at Cardinal Cup.
So Jay, Area 2 is over by mid-November. It's either the first, second weekend in November. How long? I assume you're here because you're doing ELO ratings so that they know rankings so that they know who to invite. Is that correct?
Yep. At least once we get through the champions list.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So how long after Area 2 does it take you? Was it like 15 minutes to
Yeah.
have the list compiled?
Probably Monday to wait for any like to wait for the arbitration period to finish and make sure it's the final cut. Yeah.
Well, and keep in mind, so the process is going to go roughly where we're going to, after Area 2 is done, we're going to send a message out to all of the champion list invitees. Basically, that message is going to say, hey, Mark, you got an invite to the Cardinal Cup based on these matches that you placed in. So, and basically, what it's going to ask you to do is select which one you want to take. So, effectively, is if you got an invite for both open and limited optics, carry optics, we jokingly call it loco. So,
Yeah.
if you got an invite for both open and loco, then you get to choose which one you want to take. Okay. If you choose open and you got an invite for both, that effectively opens up a slot for someone in the ELO rankings to come in and take that slot from you. But what we're going to do is roughly 2 weeks of open time for champions to reserve their slot, and then we'll start sending it down the ELO list for another, say, month or so. And then after that period of time, we'll open it up to general, like, open registration. And don't quote me on the timing and dates and everything like that. We'll have those out closer to the match or closer to area 2. But that's the general idea of how we're going to flow it.
Okay.
Yeah, you basically have 3 phases of entry, and that'll go through the champions list. Then it goes down. It'll go. There'll be after all of the champions have had their opportunity to accept or decline their invitation and register. We'll know how many slots we have available. The slots for each are allocated based off of the USPSA participation numbers. So obviously, it's going to be less open than it's going to be in loco, and loco is going to make up a vast majority of the match. And then the open will make up the rest. And if there's 100 slots for open and we filled 39 of them off of the champions list, then Jay's system is we're going to have 61 slots. It's going to try to fill from top to bottom of who's available, highest ranked in the ELO system.
And realistically, we can even start the ELO system ranking invites once we know what once we send out, we're going to know what the champions list numbers look like.
Yeah.
The day we send them out, and we'll probably marry those two together to say, okay, champions list, you've got 2 weeks to decline or accept, and as soon as you decline a slot, it'll automatically ship out an invite to the first person on the ELO list, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Okay, just so I'm clear here, when you say champions list, that includes the top 3 for all the area matches.
Yeah. So top 3 for area matches, top 15% of the field for nationals. We effectively, so you get an invite for top 3 of 2026's area matches, top 15% of 2026's nationals. You also get an invite if you're the overall champion or lady, junior, senior for the last 4 other nationals, so 25 and beyond. And you also get an invite if you were the champion of US IPSC nationals over the last 5 years, and the world shoots over the last 5 years, so the last 2 world shoots.
Yeah, that encompasses the last 2 of all world shoots. So that'll work out good. Because we'd like to, I'd love to have Eric Raffel stop over and put his abilities out there. That would be awesome.
Then that was one of the questions I had. Is this strictly national, or are you including international?
It's international because it's got world. It takes the IPSC world champions get invited. And there's like with IPSC nationals, there's potentially international people as well that come and shoot that.
So. Yeah, and we're not looking at it from the perspective. So hypothetically, U.S. IPSC nationals or U.S. nationals per se, the national champion is the first United States resident. So a couple of years ago, I think 23 or 24, I forget which one, Eric Raffel came over and won Carry Optics Nationals. He was not recognized as the national champion. We will recognize the top 3 placers. Don't care who they are.
Yeah, number 4 won. Was recognized.
Yeah.
And one caveat for anyone listening with the juniors, the invites go out based on junior finish. The the USPSA rules apply that if they're not a junior at the Cardinal Cup, they still get the invite, still come shoot. But
Yep.
if they've aged out, they're not a junior anymore. So if you earned your invite being junior national champion next weekend at Race Gun, but you're 18 at
Still come.
August 3rd, you 100% still come, but you won't qualify. You can't win junior champion. You're not a junior anymore.
Correct.
Okay, so it'll follow the other rules then.
Yeah.
In that
And
regard.
same thing goes for someone who's aging into senior. It's the age categories are based on age at the time the match starts.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
I guess
just like typical USPSA
standard
IPSC
rules.
matches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Categories
Yeah,
will
okay.
be applied based on the rule book.
and we'll have someone from the category eligibility committee to confirm all documents if necessary.
Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely
As well
not.
as gender.
Yeah.
Oh, at Area
Okay.
7, I was doing some registration and I had to ask people for their IDs. And I will say that I did not catch, but someone marked law enforcement and then said, "Oh, I don't really, I'm retired." I'm like, technically, you're not law enforcement then.
Yeah.
So
There you
Anyway.
go.
sorry, tangents.
It's okay. Just clarification. That's all it is. Clarification. Oh, what was my question? I know I've got it written up here. So let me, well, shoot. Maybe I don't.
Hey Jay, can you tell us? Well, Dave's looking for his next question. Can you tell us what the difference is between ELO and logarithmic, whatever you said in the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, it's just two different ways of handling rating. ELO is kind of the classic. It's based out of the chess math. It dates back to the mid 20th century. It's
To
well
Mr.
proven
Elo.
in battle. Yeah, to Arpad Elo himself, the Hungarian chess master mathematician. So for practical shooting, it's got a couple of sort of obvious like rules hacks on it to make it fit the sport a little bit better, and it does produce a very good ordered ranking. But last winter, I thought to myself, I can probably do a little bit better now that we have AI to help me with the math. So I worked out kind of a way using some techniques from elsewhere in statistics that kind of operates natively on the scoring we do in practical shooting. So, pardon me, the ratings there, like the difference between a pair of ratings is actually the expected difference in percentage. So with ELO, it's kind of squirrely. There's not like a direct link back. And with this one, I was very careful to try and preserve that property all the way through. So if you give me somebody, like if somebody's got like a latent log ratio, an LLR rating of 150, and somebody else has a rating of 145, I can say that's like roughly, you expect about a 5% gap in finish between those two people. So it's got that going for it. There are a couple of, it's getting, there are some places I think it needs to get tidied up just a little tiny bit before it's as good as it could be. But I did some testing between the two systems, and they agree on the relative placement of like two and like any pair of shooters in the top 100 or so in carry optics, like I don't know, 90% of the time. So it's they're very similar already.
Cool. And we're going to use the LLR option, right?
Yes, I think that's the direction I'm leaning. It's where it makes predictions, it's strictly more accurate than ELO, and where it says this is too close to call, even in that group, it's closer than ELO is on the ones that that ELO says is too close to call.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay, so the question was a follow-up question. We were talking about, which rule book or following the normal rule book with ages and all of that. But you're inviting CO shooters to shoot LO in this match. Are you following LO rules? So could they then use a race holster?
Yep.
Sure.
Okay.
Every CO gun is an LO gun without touching it, doing anything to it. It's not the opposite
disagreeing.
way. Yeah. So like they can, if they wanted to, they can shoot. They can come and they can shoot their CO setup.
From a rules perspective, that's the key. Like from a USPSA rules perspective, every LO gun, every CO gun is already an LO gun.
Right.
So if you get an invite for CO, you're welcome to shoot your CO gun. You're welcome to bring your LO gun. I don't care. Come have fun. I mean, that's the key. Is like the first and foremost thing is let's have fun. Let's put on a good let's have a good match. We're gonna have a lot of competition. That's the goal is to compress the competition into two divisions. I part of it was I didn't want, and I've seen this at other nationals and areas events. I did not want someone to look at the field and say, "Well, you know what? I'm going to shoot CO this weekend because I think I have a better shot at winning." And
Right.
we see that too often right now because LO and CO are so similar.
So Tyler Meisenheimer could bring his yellow gun. Okay, I
He
like
can
it.
bring whatever gun he wants to bring.
The green
As
Glock.
long as,
That's
as, long as
right.
it's at least limited optics legal.
Yeah, or open.
I don't know if Tyler's on the list for open though.
Probably not.
No,
Yeah, he's got a
he's a CO guy. When you shoot
at least on my
Glock,
list,
yeah.
he's got the loco match slot and no open slot.
He just has that bright green gun. And
Yep.
when Corey was talking, he said "hello" so fast it almost sounded like yellow to me. I was like, oh, that made me think of Tyler and his gun. All right, so we are following USPSA rules for limited optics and open. So that'll be easy too for the ROs.
Yep. There will
Generally-
be a chronograph.
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right. Generally speaking, I assume is it going to be like a Buckeye Blast size match, like a 12 to 14 stage match, or
18.
more?
18.
18 stage. Okay.
This is this is a national championship. It's not a USPSA nationals, but this is a
Right.
national championship level match. That's the goal.
With the idea of truly bringing there, I mean, there's no. I mean, if we get to open registration, sure. As people were asking me, I said, best way you want to shoot this match and don't think you'll earn a slot.
Work it.
Get your RO certificate and come shoot with us
Yep.
on the first 2 days.
And
it'll be
by the
awesome.
way, we're extending specific invites to ROs that we want to work the match to. So that's the goal is to field not only a world class field, but a world class officiating crew as well.
Okay.
Because that makes a huge difference. The people that volunteer in this sport to come do this stuff, whether it's run your stages or set your stages up or do the stats or fill the water coolers. I saw something the other day. One of my friends had, what do you hate the most if it happens like at a major match? Like when you go to the cooler and there's no water.
It's empty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I honestly and the more I think about it, like that's all I need is like if there's drinkable water. I don't even need it to be cold, to be totally honest with you. If there's just drinkable water that I don't have to tote around with me, is a
Yep.
huge amenity that's at the end of the day dirt cheap, right?
Which, by the way, European matches don't typically supply water.
Yeah.
So, just another aside.
World Shoot did have a really nice cappuccino truck out front though, and that lady was super nice.
That was pretty solid. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the South Africa did too. Yeah.
This was the Czech, and the lady was super nice. Didn't speak lick English. I was like cappuccino, and just I don't know. It's fantastic. And then I would just like I didn't even know how to the best part about that trip is we had no idea what the currency or how it worked. So like they could have totally ripped. I would just like put a bill up there, like hold some coins and some bills, and she would just take what she needed. And I was like, this is awesome. I had no idea. She's probably like taking me for like $5 a cappuccino easy.
But she was nice about it. So it's all good.
I was
Great.
Yeah.
It's what matters. It's etiquette.
We'll have to find a cappuccino truck for you, Mark.
I mean, I'd be totally down. I mean, Bobby does the coffee. Don't get me wrong, but like a coffee truck, I'm a big coffee guy. A coffee truck, and there has to be one in Columbus somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And they would sell the shit out of. I don't know if I can cuss. I can probably cuss, right?
You
will.
cuss.
They will sell They will sell tons of coffee to us degenerate shooters who need our caffeine fix in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, Jay didn't make it to PCSL Nationals in December, but Max Leograndis had a coffee truck at PCSL Nats.
Nice.
And it was a hit. Like I was at the coffee truck, like Mark was saying, more than I was at the food trucks.
Yeah.
That was like I would park, walk right to the right to the coffee truck, get a nice coffee. And they had, designer coffees and stuff. And then I'd go back to my vehicle, get all my stuff together, and go.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It's like some people and their burritos from Bobby.
Oh, yeah.
Love me a good breakfast burrito. Yeah, that's
Yep.
what's nice having Bobby there.
That was,
All right, so
that was one of the main perks of working 2023 Carry Optics Nationals. Ooh,
Yeah.
burritos for breakfast, nice.
Yeah. Especially
Yeah.
because you think about, like, I always stay at the Holiday Inn just south of Cardinal there in Sunbury, and if you're shooting in the morning, the breakfast isn't out. So, like, sometimes you can get a cup of coffee, but the breakfast isn't out. On the weekends, it's like 7 o'clock. So it's always having Bobby there for a burrito is just very important.
You got to get there early, too.
Yeah.
Beat the crowd so he doesn't run out. So you got 18 stages. Is there a number? Is there a capacity limit you're looking at so that the squads don't get too big, or
Yeah.
what's
so
your?
for 18 stages, 12 person squads, 2 flights. So your standard nationals format
Okay.
is like AM, PM, AM, they have 3 half days, would be 432 slots. So plus staff. And depending on how registration goes, I don't have any problem opening it up a couple squads during the staff, I would say the pre-match, to paid competitors, and we'll just staff those squads with dedicated ROs.
Okay.
Yeah. The goal would be to have all of the champions list, the paid competitors shooting in the main match, shooting the Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If somebody obviously is on the champions list and they have an extenuating circumstance that it only makes sense for them to come shoot on Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll make it happen so their score's in the book. If they want to come, we'll make it happen. But we're not going to promote shooting early match. The whole idea is going to be we want people
Not
to
for the
shoot
champion. I mean,
Yeah, not for the champions.
list, but
Yeah.
if people, depending on how registration goes, if we have a 200-person wait list, I'm going to do everything I can to get as many people in as possible.
Absolutely.
I should say as reasonable.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do 20-man squads. That's not reasonable.
Yeah.
Right. All right. At a nationals, you have a super squad. Not everybody likes to be on a super squad. How are you guys? Have you guys considered how you're going to squad shooters?
We haven't really talked about it. I think part of my thought process was to really chat with some of those guys and gals that would be on those squads this weekend and say, hey, this is the idea. This is the event we're going to be running here next year. Would you rather see a super squad or not? I kind of lean towards not having a super squad. But that's if you have a specific comment either for or against the super squad, let me know.
And my thought would be, personally, I think I'm kind of against it as well, because I like the idea of if the talent is split out. One, if people are left to choose who they're going to shoot with and who they want to shoot with, that makes it inherently more fun. I mean, I play this game to do it with my friends. If it wasn't for the people in the sport, I would have quit a long time ago. Like, that's what I say. I say that all the time. I do this for the people that I get to spend my time with. The other thing is, I think it splits the talent and moves the talent around. So the media coverage, like say Brian comes and or Dave, you're there, or like we're live streaming, we're videoing. It gives exposure to a bigger group of people too than them just following around one squad. And some people like that. They're like, oh, I got caught in this clip. Oh, here I am on Dave's camera. Here I am on Brian's camera. And I think it forces the media to move around and observe more squads as well. So I think that's really cool kind of idea of not, a justification for not doing a super squad. Besides the fact that you got to manage it and you got to find people that go in it. And like for race gun, I was put on the super squad. That creates for PCC. That creates a huge problem for me, mostly not from not wanting to shoot with those people, but from the fact that the people I'm traveling with are shooting AM, PM, AM now. And now you want to put me on a PM, AM, PM squad. That doesn't work. That doesn't work well. So Jake said, it's open squatting. You're free to move yourself off. You're just moved there based on nationals finish. Okay.
Yeah.
And I moved myself off.
Jay?
I'll come out in favor of the super squad. Yeah, well, for the one thing, I think it's much easier if the heat is all in one place from media perspective. Having done this a couple of times, having to run around and figure out where people are and chase them down, you end up it ends up getting very difficult to get like stage runs of high level people on the same stage, and that's one of the most fun things you can do is take two runs, look at them side by side, and see what happens. And the other one, I think, the other objection I have, I guess, is put most succinctly by Michael Poggi. So I'll quote him in saying that if you didn't shoot on the same squad, you didn't win the match. Conditions they can just differ too much from squad to squad, from morning to afternoon. That if you want to say that if you want to say that you beat the people finishing at the top, you should shoot at minimum on the same schedule as them.
Yeah.
I will tell you.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mark.
Oh, that just made me think of something really interesting, and I'm not sure how we could really implement it with the different, like, you have different zones, right? If we're like 3 zoned, but what if you reordered, like in golf, what if you reordered the squads based on like high available or perceived finish, like off of Shooting Sports Analyst does predictions? What if you reordered the zones daily? Sounds like a lot of work, but it just was a weird idea I just had.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, you go.
Interesting.
You shot really well yesterday. You're on squad 301 now.
Oh,
I guess
Yeah.
I guess they used to do that back in the day.
Really?
That used to be a thing.
Huh.
But so what I will probably try and encourage is the Heat stays in one zone, and I think they do that on their own. Realistically, I think a lot of the Heat wants to stay in the squads that they want to shoot with each other because they're all. I mean, they see each other all the time. They're all friends anyway. So I will probably put out a couple squads as super squads, and then we'll shoot a message to, and it might just go out to the champions list like, hey, if you're on the champions list, if you want to shoot in a super squad, let me know. Be happy to squad you in those and go from there.
I would say I'm kind of split. I agree with Jay that from a media standpoint, it's much easier. But again, like Mark was saying, though, there's a lot of other competitors that get missed because of that. I know for a fact I'm guilty of missing other competitors because of that. But I also like the idea of them being split up, even if they all shoot, say, PM, AM, PM. I like them kind of being split up because I'd like to see how they shoot when their big competitors aren't on the same squad with them and they can't see how those guys are shooting.
Yeah. One thing I will tell you that we try to do, and it doesn't always happen, and it doesn't typically happen down to the point, but historically, if you remember back to Talladega, it was always that Zone A had the fewest points, then Zone B had the second fewest points, and then Zone C had all the points.
Yep. And all the distance.
And all the distance. And you'd if you were Super Squad, you'd walk into Zone C on Sunday with a ton of points left. What we've tried to do is have the zones somewhat balanced historically at Cardinal. When Dan Click and myself and Matt are in charge, if you will, we try and have zones somewhat balanced. So that way, Jay, with your comment, if it rains on you on Thursday of Cardinal Cup and you're shooting zone 3, if you were at Talladega shooting zone 3 and it's raining, man, you just had a day where it's a washout, and that was your highest point day. So we try and keep them somewhat balanced within a couple target rounds of each other, because that's a part of that competitive equity equation, in our opinion.
It goes back to Michael Poggi.
Yeah.
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 100%. Wow. Yeah. I didn't even think of that, but yeah, and you guys have been keeping it pretty even. I noticed when I have looked at your matches in the past. So
we try. I mean, it's not possible to be, shot for shot, but we try.
Yeah, it's never going to be perfect, but you don't want a 300 point swing somewhere,
right?
Or something drastic like that. It's nice that it's it's pretty well even, because that also makes things like Jay's prediction. Your predictor pretty much operates off of average stage finish, right? So
Yeah,
in one stage, so
yeah,
it's
within a match. Yeah.
I would say it's better than high available, in my opinion. But some people might argue with me with that. But it's like that, high available. If the points are drastically different in the different zones, it can really skew stuff.
Yeah, and it really, yeah. If you just use high available, it makes it hard to predict what's going to happen on day 3 because there's so many factors. Go ahead, Jay.
100%.
I did get as far as finally fixing my ELO aware in match predictions thing too. So like it kind of takes your rating beforehand and considers that in addition to your performance on the day.
Oh, awesome!
Nice.
So yeah, if we can set up like a nice big board somewhere at Cardinal and have like the live scores coming in that way.
That would be
Yeah,
so
let's do
cool.
it.
That would be.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like scoreboards with.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that would be really cool. Fun fact. I just ran the numbers. Race gun is within 1%, 0.98%. All the zones of each other.
Yeah.
So in points. So that's cool.
That's by design. That
Yeah.
stuff does not happen because we just randomly said it was supposed to.
Yeah.
Are you guys able to see the comment that just came in?
Corey goes shooting. That's my boy, Corey Messersmith. I can't read it though.
It says balancing. Go ahead, Corey.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Balancing points by zone also needs to take into account hit factor. Just adding double stacks to short courses to bring the points up in a zone isn't the same as running low hit factor long courses in zone 3. Completely agree. I think at this Nationals, you're going to see that there are very few targets that you would call a point ad, but because Matt Hopkins doesn't do that stuff. But I completely agree that it's not, and we're going to get better. We're going to be as close as we can, and having a balanced point zone is the first step in that. But we're also not going to go to 3-2-1 format because I don't think that, there's a reason why we chose to do this USPSA, not EPSIC.
So would you say then that the round count's probably going to be an average USPSA match type round count?
Yeah, I would say in between, I think we're at 400 for this match here, 408, if I remember correctly, for race gun. Mm-hmm. I would say we're going to be in between 4 and 450.
Okay, for 18 stages, that's not bad. That's like, what, 25 roughly rounds per stage?
Yeah, and keep in mind that a short course, at the end of the day, a short course does test something. That's the goal. My philosophy on matches and stage design, and I know Matt and I and Scott share this idea, that you're always testing some sort of skill. So sometimes it's run and gun. Sometimes, you might have a stage that you have the ability to really shoot on the move, and that differentiates Mark from me because I can't shoot on the move and hit stuff. Mark can. You might have a stage that tests strong hand, weak hand, because that's, we're testing skills and knowledge of the rules are two parts of the game that you need to be an expert at.
Okay. Well, and I mean, you've got to find a way to separate those at the top, which would be testing those individual skills like that.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't know how to phrase this question, not knowing. I'm just going to throw it out there. In a perfect world, like, how many international shooters would you guys like to see show up in numbers, not just by like, oh, all of them, but I mean, if 20 of them get an invite, what number would make you happy if a certain number showed up? What would that number be?
I haven't even thought about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see international representation at this match.
Oh, sure.
Me too.
I also understand the resources required for that to happen. So, well, I mean, I would be grateful for any international competitor that's on the list that wants to come shoot.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, in a perfect world, and keep in mind, we're not going and looking at a bunch of international matches to add them to the invite list. That might be a future state match, but we're going to keep it somewhat civilized for 2027. The 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 goal, or a perfect world scenario, is that every single Champions List shooter accepts their invite and comes, and then every single LLR, ELO, Jay, you need to come up with a name, like a trademarkable name for this
Yeah.
whole thing. But every single LLR list shooter comes. Like, that would be the perfect world, is that we don't go to open registration, because everybody is coming from either from one of the two invite sources.
Yeah.
Okay. So you think there will be enough invites going out to fill the entire match if they all accept?
Oh,
Mark, I don't
They all
remember what
accept,
the
yeah.
yeah. I mean, well, keep in mind we're gonna go into the ELO LLR list until it's either exhausted or we're out of slots.
Well, okay.
Yeah, or we run out the clock, I guess.
Yeah, or we run out the
Yeah.
clock.
Yeah. But yeah,
That just starts. That'll start at the top of the champions brings in the people who like won or podiumed at level 3 matches in the USPSA, and then it trickles down from there when we go into the ELO. But it's still bringing them from top to bottom. It's not bringing people into the match based on their classification or activity slots from a section or anything like that were given out at whatever the section bylaws say. They were this is going to be performance based exclusively in phase 1 and 2. Obviously, if we go to open registration, then it's not. But
how far down because that's a lot of invites just from nationals and podiums alone. That's quite a few.
The math puts the champions list at 255 if you had no repeats. So you're obviously going to have duplicates in that list.
Roughly based on 2026's number, like 2025's numbers.
Correct, because you're doing 15% of the CO, LO, and Open at nationals. So that number is flexible based on how many people actually shot the match. So I think the ceiling is the absolute ceiling. The way I just ran it here, the absolute ceiling would be 255, based on the 2025 nationals numbers.
Yeah,
would get invited off of the champions list, and then so you're sitting there with another, 100 and I'm not a numbers guy. 175 slots.
Almost 200.
Push it 200. Yeah, push it like another 200 slots to fill with the ELO system.
Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously, that will be a combined list. That's something with Jay. That'd be like, because CO and LO will be in a combined format there. That'll be interesting if we have people who are ranked in both.
I run a at least for the purposes of doing predictions, especially for the prediction game on the Shooting Sports Analyst website. I do a combined LOCO rating set that just combines the scoring and rates people in that sense.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's
perfect.
close
It is perfect.
Doesn't really actually make that big of a difference in people's ratings. So more
Jay, the prognosticator.
Oh yeah.
Jay is forecasting the future. Wow, that's perfect. Yeah, holy cow.
And then obviously the goal is to have a lot of industry support, as far as our sponsorship would really drive the sponsorship, and try to have great industry support, not only to support the ROs but also be able to give back to the shooters, because that people like I never go to a match with like hoping to go home with something, but it is nice if they come by and you won and you get a Bigfoot brass certificate or something. I mean, just fantastic. That guy's great. But last I got a Hunter Constantine belt. Like, I mean, yeah, it's nice to get a little something here and there. But at first, Corey, it's important to take care of the volunteers too, the people that are coming and working to make the match happen.
Yeah.
It would be nice if Hunter wouldn't mind putting up a little Hunter cash for some of the stages, because when I was at PCSL Nats, it was interesting when he had cash on stages. People would do extraordinary things to get the cash.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
it wasn't even a
you're
lot of
not,
cash. It was just a little bit of cash here and there.
if you're not in contention to win, sometimes there's that's like a fun little side quest, right?
Yeah.
I might not be able to win, but I think I can take a stage off these guys, kind of thing. If
Yeah,
I really
it's-
hook up, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and I spoke about, he said he'd support the match. Obviously, it was a matter of like not like necessarily like bounty or anything like that, but because if are you going to shoot this from concealment, this match from concealment if you're a contender?
Nope.
No.
Not,
Now,
not, a, not in a million years.
and that's not what I want. It's
Right.
and I don't get me wrong, he puts up some cool prizes, but like I don't need a a C3 Corvette or a 1980s Rolex. That's just it's
I
neat
did want the
prizes.
bulletproof truck, though. Not gonna lie.
I could build you one of those.
I come out of 50 on that bad boy.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think the industry support will be there. That's obviously something we'll work with Manny. He's going to be kind of like our liaison there, working with that and getting everything situated. But we have really high hopes for this, and I think it's going to be really great. The goal is for this to be the best match that anyone attends in 2027.
Okay.
And then continue it on from there. I mean, obviously, the inaugural event, you have to set the, you got to show people what it's going to be, and then you make it better and better and improvements. And like Corey said, do you start do we start including something for if we get international traction and people want to come shoot this? Do you start including like the European Handgun Championship winners and things like that? Because there's huge matches, huge pistol matches in Europe.
Yeah.
Like and it's. I mean, I've never traveled to the United States as a foreigner with a gun, but I can't imagine it's super difficult. I mean, it wasn't hard for us to go to the Czech Republic, so I'm sure it would. It's probably reciprocated. Relatively similar to our visitors.
Yeah.
I would think so. Yeah.
And the key is the first and foremost part of this is let's have a fun match.
Yeah.
That's the key. And when you were asking David, why should the top 25% or the top 15% come? The bigger question I've been asked more recently is why should the other 85% come? And my response to that is it's going to be a fun match. And that's why we can't do things that are like, oh my God, it's 5 times harder than other matches because it's only GMs. We're probably going to go. It's probably going to go pretty deep in the ELO list to fill the match, especially when you think that all of the champions are probably the top people in the ELO list too.
Yeah.
So
And Elo also doesn't look at classification. So there are people like a prime example would be Matt Tucker. I think he's still A class because of the way open. Yeah, because he never shoots classifiers. But shoot a local match that's my boy. He's probably pretty well. I'm assuming he's up there somewhere on the open Elo list, and as an A class.
I think he's actually
and
the
I'm
highest
sure
rated
there's-
A class in open.
Yeah,
there you go.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. I definitely see some A and M, high up on that ELO list for sure. So that doesn't surprise me one bit.
I think you're going to see a pretty good distribution, especially once we look. I mean, realistically, the odds of it going to open registration are pretty good. So now, does it mean that there's going to be 100 slots left for open registration? Not necessarily, but the odds of going to open registration at some point is pretty good. So it's a matter of, and we haven't totally figured out how we're going to look at it from the perspective of the wait list, and if people withdraw, how do we fill their slot, stuff like that. So the odds of going to open registration are pretty darn good. We'll see where we go from there.
Pre-knee issues, if I heard that I would be able to shoot a match that had that level of competition at it, I would jump at it for the simple fact that I get a direct comparison of where I am against the best shooters in the country, possibly in the world, depending on who shows up.
That's the exact idea. And that's why we think the other, not every person in this match is going to be vying for first place.
Nope.
I think there are going to be, and Mark and I talk about this all the time. Mark, when you show up to a match that Leo Grandis is at, what's your goal?
My goal
Not
is
get
to take
disqualified.
second place. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you've told me in the past, like,
I've used when I shoot with Max, like Area 5, when I shoot with Max, I second place is the victory to me. Like, because people are like, well, you could beat, what if he DQs? I don't want I don't want to win.
and you didn't beat him.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
want to
Yeah.
win that way. Like that. So I just view it, and I mean, maybe that's the wrong. It's not the wrong attitude. I'm just looking at it as like I know where I'm trying to beat everybody else
Well,
because
and
like,
I think,
I'm not going to beat him.
but I think what we've talked about in the past, and maybe this has changed a little bit, but in the past, you've always told me, Corey, if I can be 90% of max, I'm really happy. And maybe now that
90 was
number
always
is
the
higher.
yeah. It is, yeah, it is. I mean, I just
But,
did the best ever though at Area 5.
right.
It always
So,
was 10% to the the best PCC shooter we have in this country.
but that's the point, right? Is when David shows up and Dave, I don't know what class you are. I haven't seen you shoot ever. Um, I know you got the knee issues and everything, but if you're a B class shooter, man, wouldn't it be really cool to shoot 70% of somebody that you know that the field is like that top five, those top five
Yes.
shooters are all 90,
It'd be
90,
massive.
95, 97, 99%. You shot 70% of all of them. Fantastic. Like, that's the goal.
Yeah.
I want
If
to
you're
prove that Jay's ELO slash LLR, LLM, whatever thingy Bob he wants to call it.
Hit rating.
I want to prove that that's right. Like, that's kind of the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the other side of that coin, I'd love to see this set like new records for that, like the highest heat in like concentrated in a match that we've had so far. Going back 2017 in USPSA, that'd be a really cool milestone to set.
Be sweet. Maybe next year we'll do 2028 is going to include Revolver, all five of you.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't even need a whole squad. We'll just take
Should
like
we-
half of one.
Should we
Somewhere.
throw in six? We'll throw in 6 single stacks to make Brandon happy or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Man,
There
we
you
don't care.
go.
that's the
We don't
factory
care
gun
about
super
Brandon.
squad this year. Half revolver, half single stack.
Maybe some limited 10, some heat
Oh,
there.
yeah.
I hear.
That's gonna
Oh
be
my
that's
God.
gonna be my. I'm either shooting single stack or limited 10 at Rio next for what is that? Low cap Nats.
Yep.
Haven't decided yet. I got that new iron sight single stack. I probably should shoot that.
Limited 10 is the bane of my existence. Talk about people shooting a division just to win a championship.
That's
Yeah.
and that's why we don't have limited 10 in Cardinal Cup.
I can just shoot 10. I can just load down 10 millimeter to like just like 170, and then I got a 10 millimeter Nighthawk. I could just shoot.
Here you
put an
go.
optic on that bad boy, and it's my bear cannon.
I will say Revolver Major was tons of fun lately. It's got that going for it.
Ooh. So I could shoot limited 10 minor with my 8-shot scoped SRO on my revolver.
Revolver.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's loud.
Yep.
I'd just be down
Yep.
2 rounds. That'd be all
Or you
right.
could come out to Cameo next year and shoot the IRC with us.
I can use an optic.
Yeah, open his optics and ports if you want them.
It's so fun to shoot with the compensator and the optic on
Yep.
it.
Yep.
It doesn't move. I mean, it's like
Oh yeah,
it's
just like
so
little
nose heavy.
minor power.
Yeah. It barely
would
moves
so
with
look-
57.
I would look like a window licker trying to do a reload.
Yeah, me too.
So,
Mark, the difference between you and
shooting
Dave.
pretty good in like a 4-second reload in between.
Mark, the difference between you and Dave is, Mark, you do lick windows. So
Yeah. Yeah. They're usually tinted. The bus is short, and my helmet's on. So
oh Lord, that's hilarious. I mean, we actually got deeper into the selection than I was, had initially anticipated. So this is actually really good.
yeah, we've
So-
spent a lot of time hashing out the kind of the ideas of like getting the number, like because you don't want it to be too few, you don't want it to be too many. How do we include to make sure that like all of the area matches provide some sort of like substance to getting you into this match? And I think like podium is top 3 is a strong spot to be in. Those, and like you said, you're gonna have a lot of duplicates that are gonna be, because a lot of these people at the top of the list at one area match are at multiple other ones.
Well,
They're
I
going to be
mean,
Right.
they're going to be on the nationals list. Like,
prime example of this is I think more, and for 2025, we based a lot of this data on 2025 data initially just to see what numbers would look like. Um, I think Morgan Leonhardt took it's either every area match in CO or all but one.
yeah,
So hypothetically,
Last
the
year was
top
everyone, right?
girl, right, everyone. So the top lady CO shooter got 8 invites,
yeah,
probably 9 because she probably won carry optics at nationals too.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
so.
I
So
believe that was. I believe last year she went for and got the clean sweep in lady, all the area matches in a nationals win.
yeah, so
Oh,
that so that reduces 8 slots that someone else can go get in the ELO/open registration.
Yep.
Yeah, because they take that 255 and then just subtract 9 from it right there, and then she
Yeah,
would be
there's a lot of overlap.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a
So
lot of
I don't
Right.
overlap.
have I don't have quite the same rules all written up in software as we're ultimately using for the Cardinal Cup, but skipping I skip senior and junior, I think, but I have more or less the rest all put together. And it's I don't know, it's probably barely over like 115 or 120 slots, and there are more I think that will be in the official Cardinal list, just because of internationals and again the seniors and juniors and such. But
Yep.
it still leaves it'll leave a fair few slots for people going down the ELO list, and again maybe for open registration at the end.
Yeah.
So, Dave, can you? I don't know if you have a scene built that we can share a screen or not.
I
If not,
do.
no big deal. But basically, we've got a website up and running, and it's a work in progress. By no means is it the only. By no means is it ready to fully go yet at this point. But people are welcome to take a look at it. Um, it's cardinalcup.shootohio.com and gives a bit of an overview of the match. And then the key part here is the champion list. So I've only
Ooh,
loaded a couple things in here so far, but it'll be loaded up by the end of the week. The key is
nice.
so open, limited optics, carry optics. You're going to be able to see who got invites in what division. Um, you know, Carrie Jarrett, for example, like she's not a GM, but she's still invited, and I mean, because she was number 2 lady in Area
At
8.
Area 8. Yeah,
So drop
nice.
down here. And the key is you're going to see like JJ, I need his contact information. So JJ, if you're watching this, click the update contact info, put in your name and your email address. Basically, if we don't have the contact info, then we can't send you an invite.
Well, that was one of the questions I had earlier when you were talking that I had forgotten what the question was. So, was how are you going to contact everybody? So that's perfect. They can literally do it right on the website.
Yep. And
And
I've got a lot
what
of
was that again?
what was
What
what?
was the website?
Oh, cardinalcup.shootohio.com.
Okay.
Here, I'll pull it back up.
Did you ever? We talked about Corey getting like ordering some little cards for next week.
Work in progress,
Okay.
but probably.
We'll definitely have more information next week. So I mean, I'll be there, and obviously Corey will be there. And
Yep.
if anyone wants to chat, anyone has any input, I mean, a lot of this was built off of an idea, and then posting videos on social media and taking people's input, and that's kind of how we arrived to where we were. Making sure we included juniors, and making sure we had representation
Yep.
for seniors, and making sure we had representation for the ladies division. I mean, that's what I wanted. I wanted that all to begin with, because there is a little bit of a differentiation that needs to take place there. But you're still going to have an overall Cardinal Cup champion.
So
Yeah.
looking at this, Corey, can you go back to the list of invitees?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are all just 2026. How are you going to fill in like 2025, 2024?
So it'll look like this where World Shoot, and then so it'll have the nationals. I haven't loaded them in yet, but it'll have nationals winners from 25, 24, 23, and 22.
That will just
Okay.
be the winners there. It won't be top 15%
Correct.
from there. It will literally just be it'll be 4 invites. It'll be the people who won. It'll be 12
Okay.
total. But yeah, it'll be 4 invites in a division.
Yep.
Going
So the
back
top-
5 years.
The top 15 is just this year then.
Yes, the previous year's nationals from the match.
Okay.
So it'll be
Gotcha. The
2026
most recent.
nationals. Yep.
Okay. So for like 2028 Cardinal Cup, it would be the top 15 from the 2027 Nationals.
Correct.
Gotcha. All right.
Because that expands
Tracking.
that more recent field of people, but still honors winning back 5 years, being a national champion back 5 years. Obviously, we can't every national champ like you. For instance, this whole idea is based around how the Masters works in golf. And obviously when you win a green jacket and you're a Masters champion, you now get an exemption for life, and you are always invited to return and compete in the field if you wish. Like I have a flag up here from 2000 Masters, which was the last one that Jack Nicklaus played as a competitor. But you are invited to return for life if you really wanted to. That wouldn't be logical for us to go back to. I just saw something from the a pistol bag from the 1996 Open Classic or something. Like, are we gonna? Is that winner gonna come? No.
Here's my caveat. So, is that winner going to come? Probably not. Maybe. You never know.
I mean, I would love for them to come. That would be great.
But this is the first year that they had the Masters, they didn't invite the Master winner from the year before that.
Correct.
Because they didn't have one. So this year is the inaugural year. In the future, the winner of last year's Cardinal Cup. So in 2028, the winners of 2027's Cardinal Cup will get a free entry to the match. Okay.
Okay.
Past that, they're going to get one free entry to defend their championship title.
Correct.
Okay. 2029, say JJ comes out, wins 27, gets a free entry to 28, and then in 28, he is absolutely terrible, doesn't get an invite, he's got a lifetime invite to Cardinal Cup.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to run it just like the Masters.
Yeah.
You get a lifetime invite to Cardinal Cup once you win.
Yeah, and we were talking about this. It's not all official yet, but the idea of a perpetual trophy, something like the Stanley Cup that will have a name engraved on it, and there'll be some sort of award as well but there will be the term they use, perpetual trophy, basically that continually exists, and it goes from one to the other. It's never
probably not going to be actually traveling.
No,
but
it'll be you come back
housed
and defend it. Yeah. So you have to come back and defend the cup if you want to, try to keep your name on it.
Well, your name
yeah.
Maybe there's a little cup that you get to take home with you, kind of like the Masters
replica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about some kind of jacket as well, or
yeah. The jacket would be. I asked ChatGPT to render me some jackets, and some of these look like the Mad Hatter's coat and stuff with a patch on it. I mean, it would be hilarious. Like, don't get me wrong, that would be pretty funny.
Well, Mark, you saw at Area 7, they had that at one of the stages from the Lipsa guys. They had, or the Infidels, I believe, had a jacket on their stage, and it was just a hilarious little thing. Like Mark almost won it, the golden jacket.
Yeah. That was on that little short left to right or right to left stage.
Yep.
That was a fun stage.
They had the alligators in the pond.
Yeah. That was the first. My wife watched me shoot that stage. It's the first stage she's ever watched me shoot in person, competing. Was that stage?
And the last stage too.
No, she stayed for three more.
Sorry, Manny, I don't know what Lord Schulte's Cup is.
It's the hockey joke.
It's
Lord Stanley's Cup.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lord Schulte's Cup. I like it. The Cat's Cup. That's what
I gotcha.
It's alliterative. The Cardinal Cup. I mean, it works. It's alliterative. It'll be some sort of thing. It could be like the cup could be some sort of thing, like the Ohio State bird, and have a cardinal. And
it's almost like it's in the name.
It needs to be some sort of vessel, though. Like the champion should be able to pour a beverage of choice into it and chug out of it if they wish. That's just
I
it
like
should
that.
or like the Stanley's
Yeah.
Cup. Maybe if you're a big ice cream guy, get a giant sundae made in it, and the Stanley Cup has been involved with some crazy stuff. I'm sure.
I'm sure make stuff better can figure
Yeah.
something out for us.
He 100% can come up with an absolutely awesome trophy for us. I have full faith in his ability.
I know I think there's going to be a few people missing due to Rifle World Shoot, right?
Correct.
Okay.
There may be, and I'm sure there will be, because I know at least Jaleese or Justine is probably going to be there, probably both of them. But we actually intentionally did not include PCC because of that, because we felt as though having the Rifle World Shoot directly conflict with that, taking 3 or 4 of the top 25 out of the mix was probably not the best thing
It's
if
more
we're
than
trying
that.
to get to.
It's like it's like 5 or 6 of the top 10 from last year.
There you go.
Nelson, Litsky. Well, maybe.
Well,
Current events.
Well, Max was the first LO national champion. Jay Lease was a CO champion. So Justine. So you're still losing those two in that regard.
Well,
So,
Max won't be it.
I don't think Max
most likely
he
will
didn't
be
do
a
World
World
Shoot
Shoot
because he didn't do the qualifications. And I mean, who knows? I mean, now with Kyle, like the whole situation there, like who knows? With the qualifying events and whatnot. But I mean, 5 or 6 between Zach Smith, Scott Green, those guys, the guys that would be at the top of the PCC champions list and get these invites would also be
gone
at Rifle World Shoot. So we just decided to leave PC, and it's something that can change. We were only going to do 40 slots for PCC, I think it was, like number wise, because it's all based on the USPSA participation numbers. Like 432 gets 10%. That's 43 slots. So we were going to do something like that, and it's not that we'll see how this year goes. We'll do a lessons learned, and we'll. It's nothing is on or off the table. That's the good part about it.
And I will say one thing about Mark and I, about the rest of the team, not one of us, I don't think I've ever heard anybody on our team say, well, that's not the way we've always done it. Because that's not our mindset. Our mindset is let's push, let's make sure that we're thinking through things, but there is no best practice that can't be made better. My pet peeve is there's 2 phrases that I can't stand. It mainly in any sport, but mainly like it happens a lot in this sport. That's not the way we've always, we can't do it because that's not the way we've always done it. And the concept of a best practice, and the best practice part is you're insinuating that there is no better practice and you've tried them all.
Yeah.
And that's just not
right. I mean, if that's the case, we'd still be driving 1950s automobiles.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
It's innovation.
I mean,
it really is when you think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Jay does shoot 1950s guns, so I mean,
who's counting?
Kind of average there. Like I guess your Smith and Wessons are older than that. Your Rugers are newer, so you kind of fit right in the middle there.
Yeah.
So we're at 1980 now. In revolver.
Okay. The JP5 is built off the technology from the early 1960s from Heckler and Koch. That they were like, let's make a roller delay.
Think about the heritage of an open gun too. That goes back a long way.
Oh, yeah.
As well.
It's a joke. I mean, think about the car. That goes back a long way too.
Yeah. But I think there's plenty of room for innovation. There's plenty of room for change. I mean, it goes kind of like Max's video. Is it maybe just that things are stagnant and everybody is just doing the same thing at every match? And there's Brady. I'm with Jay. Fuds for life. Yeah. Brady's out there. Two world wars. That boomer. Definitely. Your power factor, nothing.
I don't know. From the peak of the revolver, those world wars are both kind of still like coming down the road. They were not even in the rearview mirror. We haven't gotten to them yet.
Yeah. Brady will have to win himself an LO spot, and he'll come up here and show us how to run that BDS 9.
There you go.
Well, gentlemen, I can't think of much else we need to talk about tonight. I thought we did a very thorough job of covering everything. So, is there anything else we didn't that maybe you had a faux pas issue like me where you had something you were going to say and forgot it and now you want to say it?
I guess I would just say, as a closing comment, if you have questions, feel free to shoot us an email. Shoot me an email, Corey, Khory, at shootohio.com. That's the best way to get a hold of me, and we'd be happy to have a conversation. And if you're on social media complaining about something, just this is the general comment. If you're on social media complaining about something, shoot me an email or shoot the match director an email, because it does not help that you're out there complaining about it. There's typically a reason why we did it, but we'd love to hear your thoughts as to why we did it wrong, and we'll either explain our point of view or maybe make a change. So
There you go.
Yeah, and I think it's great. I mean, it's nice to get. I get asked constantly about this and details and different people that I've spoken to. Everyone's. It seems like now it's pretty widespread that people have heard about it, but it's good to get the details out there and let people know what is actually coming. Because I've given a ton of people like my 60-second elevator pitch on it. Basically, I was like, think about the Masters, but for our sport. And we're trying to assemble the absolute best off of an invitation system. And do it at a premier facility with a great crew and staff and volunteers and great industry support, and bring everybody together and have we'll have a great time and we'll crown champions.
Yep.
And maybe they'll baptize their child, like Manny said, out of the Cardinal Cup, whatever they want to do with it.
I mean,
That's
Jay,
a big cup.
I wouldn't recommend it, but
Yeah. Ice like a hot fudge sundae, or a beer of your a beverage of your choice. Different, I'd be a little more down those lines. But Manny, you do you, brother.
I think Manny was dropped on the head. I think Manny was dropped on his head when he was a child. Maybe during the baptism.
Yeah. When all that was going around, I was like, I asked my mom if she took Tylenol when she was pregnant with me, and she said only when the hangovers were real bad. So we were, So we were in good shape there. Dodged the bullet.
Goodness.
Spikes a lot.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on, because I know I had questions, and I know there were a lot of other people that were having questions and curious about it. And I didn't want to say anything I didn't want to put out bad information. So I appreciate you guys coming on so we could talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Manny can't
Always a
confirm
pleasure.
you was dropped.
Yeah. Appreciate the confirmation, Manny.
Thanks, Manny. Makes a lot of sense now.
All right. You guys have a great evening, and we'll chat again soon.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Sounds
like a
good.
plan.
Thanks, sir.